Ladies and gentlemen, Kocosports.com is proud to present Wrestle AM. That's right, it's half wrestling show, half morning show, pretty much all bullshit. And of course, you got the Coco crew here holding it down live. And first, you got yours truly, the sexiest man on all of Internet Wrestling Radio. That's right, Boom Boom here shaking the room live from beautiful Omaha, Nebraska. And of course, join us way there across the pond in Tokyo, Japan, my brother from another mother, the founder, the CEO of Kocosports.com, talking about Dave Kokotis. And of course, we're joined by Kocosports.com regular, our friend, our amigo, the ravishing one, Rob Sackett. What is up, Rob?
What's up? I like that I get to be ravishing Rob Sackett. Where's Rick Rude at? We could form a tag team. We could be the future. Is he too old to wrestle now?
Well, gentlemen, we've got SummerSlam. It's like the peak of the summer. WWE's arguably their second biggest event of the year, right, of course, behind WrestleMania coming up. The card is stacked. It's lined up. It's looking pretty good. But what do you guys think? Are you thrilled about SummerSlam coming up live this weekend from Los Angeles, California?
I'll go first since I'm the most negative. I feel like this would have been an awesome pay-per-view a month ago. Like, they had this planned, like, 2 months ago, and they're like, you know what? Let's work backwards. And that sounds great on paper. But when you hand someone a script that says, this match is going to happen, this is the build-up, and you're like, this is only one sheet of paper. Where's the rest of the story? Just stall that out for 6 months. But it's only one sheet of paper. You want me? SummerSlam's like 3 months away. Look, you got the card. You work backwards. You only put a sentence for each story. Oh, just make a 20-minute Brock Lesnar promo and fucking replay that. Don't worry, this is good storytelling. This would have been awesome 3 months ago. Every fucking storyline is beyond played out. It's beyond played out to the point that me, negative fucking Nelly here, goes, yeah, I don't do it. Like, I get it months ago, but when you say work backwards, you have to write more than one fucking sentence on a piece of paper. 20-minute Brock Lesnar promos do not count as story. This is, everyone's like, we want a long-term story. Yeah, to be a long-term story, you have to actually write a full fucking story. Not, oh, Brock Lesnar's going to fight John Cena. Make that last 6 months. No, motherfuckers, no. Bad WWE. Rob, to you, for the positive side.
I will say that I do agree that promo got showed way too much. The first time I even told Dave, the first time I saw that promo, I was so into that match. I was like, wow, that's a really good idea. They did a UFC-style fight promo with Brock Lesnar. What a great way to work in his MMA aspect. And I was like, that's awesome. And then they showed it so much that I'm pretty sure I've seen enough minutes of that to fill an entire Monday Night Raw at this point. Like, I think I've seen at least 3 or 4 hours just of that pay-per-view, or of that promo, because they show it in every single show, which is terrible when you have an hour-long show all the time. Except NXT. Thank you, NXT. But I'm excited for the pay-per-view. I'm relatively interested in most of the matches. I think the only match I really don't give a shit about is Bray Wyatt. I don't give a shit. I'm sorry. But other than that, I'm looking forward to the pay-per-view.
Phillips, you're the
All
middle.
right, guys.
Negative Nelly?
I see both your points of view, but mine's the only correct one. And I'm excited about it. I'm actually interested to see where this goes, because I know this is something WWE isn't going to fucking slap together like they did last month at Battleground. This is something they obviously put some time, put some thought in. They had it last report, and this was like about 6 weeks ago, maybe less. We'll just say for the sake of this conversation, 6 weeks. They had all the endings, or 2/3 of the endings planned out, booked, ready to go. They were just going to try to fill in some gaps, and they were booking backwards. So this lets me know that at least they put some effort into it, which is more than what I can say for what they've done with some other fucking filler pay-per-views. So I'm interested to see how this plays out. Now, if it succeeds, WWE has got a template for success from here on out. If it fails, then I'm not joking. Everybody on that goddamn creative team needs to be fucking fired, and they just need to start all over again from scratch. Because if you have everything planned out where you want to go, everything booked, everything, all the endings plotted out, where you want to go with the storylines, and then you go backwards, and then when you get there, it sucks. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. I mean, you just suck. Just stop and give it up. But, kids, we're going to find out how good we are because we're going to play our favorite game. We play it at least once a month. It's called Pay-Per-View Profits. For those of you who haven't played, and judging by the subscriptions, there are quite a few of you who haven't played so far, but I'll explain the rules anyway, so Internet Infantry, bear with me. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to run down the card, and then you at home, down here in the comment section, you need to put who you think is going to win. Just who you think is going to win. Save your other comments for the conversation, which can be held later. But put your picks in, and we're going to tally everything up, and as soon as the pay-per-view starts, the booking's off, and then here's what we're going to do. When the pay-per-view starts, for every correct pick you make, you get a point. And coming into the pay-per-view, the person with the most points is the winner, and therefore the pay-per-view profit. Now, I should also stress that there will be tiebreakers at the end of this, and it's very important you need to enter in the tiebreakers because we've had some people that have lost strictly because they didn't enter in the tiebreakers. We've had people win solely off one single tiebreaker, so please put those in. And again, and one thing I do ask as a favor is if you do try to put it in the order that we're covering it instead of jumping all over the place, it just makes it easier for me to tell it because we don't have a lot of money here in case you didn't realize, and I'm doing this old school pen and paper, so it just makes it so much easier when I'm going down the list. So please bear that in mind, guys. So without further ado, let's get ready to spin the wheel and let's play Pay-Per-View Profits. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as far as getting material goes for this show, we're going to WWE.com, and we're going to base everything solely off this website in their order. Now, if any more items are added, you can always go back and put it in the box. Questions here about changing your picks. Can you change them? Yes, you can. You can change them leading up to the pay-per-view, but I do stress, once that pay-per-view starts, once the bell rings for that first match, all bets are off, it's frozen, you're locked, and you're committed and ready to go. So, kids, are you ready? Are you ready? Dave,
I'm ready.
Rob, you ready?
I'm ready. I'm going to win this time because I'm voting from the heart.
All right.
It's going to work eventually.
All right, we're going to start relatively at the bottom of the card, and we're going to gradually work our way up. So, and this by means is not a sleeper match. This was actually, I think, is going to be a good one here. We have the Intercontinental title on the line. The Miz versus Dolph Ziggler. You got The Miz, fresh coming off making the Marine, winning the Intercontinental title after Wade Barrett went down with an injury. Dolph Ziggler, who is currently the Kocosports.com Internet Champion, has seemingly come out of nowhere, broke his losing streak, has been on fire as of late, and he's gunning for that IC title. So, guys, actually, Rob, let's start with you. What do you think? Do you think Ziggler's got enough momentum, or is the moneymaker going to keep the belt?
I believe in the dream, and the dream tells me Ziggler's night. It's got to be Ziggler's night. Come on, Ziggler. I believe in you. Tonight, well, not tonight, Sunday night, Ziggler's going to come home with the belt. Just because I believe in him. Or Ziggler, what if Bo Dallas interferes, though, and just ruins it for Ziggler so that Bo Dallas can go on to become the Intercontinental title? I don't know. There are so many options, but I think Ziggler wins.
All right. Dave, do you share that optimism? Are you going to back your boy Ziggler, or do you think the Miz has got he's got a little bit longer to hold that belt?
I love both these guys. I like the story that they're not telling because they have to bump it for Brock Lesnar promos and Stephanie McMahon. They both grew up in Cleveland, went their separate ways. I just thought it was a really good story that if it gave more than just cut 76 of those Stephanie McMahon promos and give one to these guys. But no, I enjoy both characters, both athletes. I like The Miz, but I'm one of those. They have to give us a bone. You know, WWE has this rule. It's a formula basically that let's not give the fans what they want 90% of the time and give it to them 10% of the time. Well, they have to give us a bone. I just feel like it's charity now. Like, I feel like I'm outside WWE's headquarters with a little pot going, please, please, Mr. McMahon, put the quarter in the pot. We're fucking starving here. Give us something. Give us something. Did you not see what they did at the G1? You should be ashamed of yourself. I'm saying Ziggler just for the same way I would beg Vince for fucking food if I was homeless. I have no faith whatsoever he'll do the right thing, but maybe when Vince is counting his billions of dollars, she's like, you know what? Let's give the fans something. And I want to believe. I want to be happy. I want to be a happy person. I want to be a positive Pete like our main man Rob over there. I'm going to say Dolph Ziggler. Now, for the record, I want to put an asterisk. I always pick Dolph Ziggler, and I barely ever win pay-per-view profits. But
actually, you escaped with a win about a month or so ago.
Yeah, remember that time that you sold your soul to John Cena?
That is true. I think I won the last two, actually. I'm just trying to play up to the crowd. I'm playing the poor man here.
You're pulling the John Cena. You're the champion. You're the reigning champion. You got to pull the whole underdog. Oh, I got to rise above routine. Oh, I see how it goes.
Exactly. I only won 2 pay-per-view profits in a row against all of you. You know what? I don't know if I can pull it off. Please buy my colorful T-shirts. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I think it's Dolph Ziggler's time, and it has to be. It just has to be.
Sadly, won't that mean that he loses the title, our title?
Well, I think he lost. I think he did lose the title already.
He lost by count out. That does not necessitate a title switch.
All right. Well,
hey,
we can say,
I know the rules. That's what I do. Because see, I'm like Dave. I give a shit about the rules. I care about the rules. I follow the rules. Because otherwise, why have rules?
I'm pretty sure Rule 4 is we just make up the rules as we go along. I'm actually pretty sure that's
there was a joke in there somewhere, but anyway, guys, I'm not going to be as optimistic as you two. I'm going to go with the Miz on this one. I think right now he's doing some of his best work as a bad guy since he's returned. I mean, his career was really going nowhere. It was, hey, I'm the Miz. Remember, me and Ric Flair hung out for a couple weeks. Now I use the figure 4. Get it? Because he's kind of like my mentor, even though he's not out here anymore. And then he went off and did the Marine, came back. You know, he kind of looks like a second-rate Johnny Cage, but that's neither here nor now. I kind of like the whole idea of don't hit me in the face, protect my moneymaker, keep the title. I think he's going to hang on to it just a little bit longer. I'm not saying this feud's going to end with this match, but I think this is a good way to really crank up the heat on The Miz. And for that to happen, he has to retain that Intercontinental title. So I'm going with The Miz.
Didn't he basically steal the protect the face thing from Tyler Breeze?
Well, I mean, that's been done before. Remember, there was a match. I don't think it was a Mania match. It was Shawn Michaels versus Rick the Model Martel. Ugh. Say that 10 times fast. They had I think it was billed as like a Pretty Boys match where neither guy could punch the other one in the face because they were both, this was a badly booked, I think it was a pay-per-view. I think it might have been a Survivor Series. They were just trying to put people on there. And so they put 2 heels up on each other, and both of them had the whole I'm a good-looking guy gimmick. So they had a whole match where you couldn't punch the other guy in the face. So don't ask me where that went because it's been so many fucking years ago. But it has been done before. Don't.
Recently, hasn't he? Didn't Cody do something like this?
When he did that. Yeah, well, I don't know. When he did Dashing Cody Rhodes, I mean, yeah, you could probably argue that. It's not the first, narcissistic gimmick, Narcissus Lex Luger, There was also Gorgeous George. You know, they've done. I mean, it's been done before, so
Okay.
this is actually nothing new. But it's not a rip-off of anything as of late.
Okay.
Yeah, I wish
Oh.
someone would use the Mick Foley line or the Marine Corps line. There's a line that the Marines use because we have a reputation of not being that pretty. It's like we might be ugly, but we love to destroy something that's pretty. I wish they would use that line against all these pretty boy like wrestlers. I just think it would put someone over, like maybe Dean Ambrose or something. But I don't know, because like who I think is good looking is not what the Tumblr girls think is good looking. Like I always thought, like, oh, girls like Randy Orton because, well, look at him, he's a sexy beast. But then you go on Tumblr, dude. Dean Ambrose rules Tumblr. The Tumblr girls go crazy for Dean Ambrose.
No shit. He's the titty master. Of course he's gonna rule it. Who doesn't respect titty master?
All right, Booms, you got to keep us on track because I'm not making this up, Booms. We went an hour and a half on a main event.
The first hour we didn't review anything. we reviewed nothing for an hour.
My job here at Kocosports is not to add to commentary. It's not to keep the show, to spice it up. No, it's to keep the show on track and to remember shit. That's my job. Oh, and to keep score.
I'm pretty sure I'm banned from main event reviews now.
It's like being the dealer in the Texas Hold'em tournament. It's a necessary evil.
The worst part is we did a 10-minute main event review. It gets like 1,000 views. Me and Rob, we talked for like an hour and a half. Main event somewhere sprinkled in there. I even had to add WWE Talk to the title, and like it's like 400 people saw it. And I was like, son of a bitch! I don't want the 10-minute format. All right, guys, it's on track.
Next match here. Next match is the one here that Rob is not excited about, but we got to talk about it anyway. We've got the match here: Bray Wyatt versus Chris Jericho. Of course, Luke Harper and Eric Rowan will not be at ringside for this match. Chris Jericho won his respective matches against those two gentlemen under the stipulation if they lost, they'd be barred from ringside. He's come out victorious on both of them. These two have had some pretty good verbal exchanges, particularly this last Monday on Raw. I think was a decent one. Jericho, when he came back, was specifically requesting this kind of feud, somebody to work with. Their last encounter was not so great on pay-per-view. Of course, Chris Jericho picked up the win, but Bray Wyatt has been relentless and has been stopping. I really think Wyatt desperately needs a win to kind of get his career back on track. But, Dave, let's start with you on this one. Do you think that it's killing Bray Wyatt despite all his popularity? I know one thing that you talked about as a booker that you do love somebody who can still lose all the time but still be over as hell. I think you can argue that with Bray Wyatt because no matter, he's lost. I think he's won only one of his, last, 4 or 5 pay-per-view matches. That was that tainted win over John Cena in the cage, and I think that's been like the only, he beat Daniel Bryan at the Royal Rumble. He beat John Cena in the cage. I believe that was at Extreme Rules, but he has lost every pay-per-view match outside of those two this year. Now, Dave, do you really think that Bray Wyatt needs this win at SummerSlam to kind of get his career back on track? And what are the consequences if he doesn't? What if he takes another loss to Y2J?
Well, first off, I don't consider Bray Wyatt to be over anymore. When's the last time you seen him pan out to the crowd and show the audience through the flashlights?
This past Monday, or a couple of Mondays ago, they had everybody pulled their cell phones out.
I don't know. Maybe he just hasn't been on television enough. I don't think he's over like he used to be. I don't think he's the same character, same heat. I honestly think it's just negative me, and I could be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong. Like, when you're so negative, like, if you're fucking wrong, I'm going to celebrate. No! If I'm wrong, I want to celebrate too, because I'm such an asshole. But I honestly don't think his career's ever coming back. He's going to beat Jericho, and at the same time, I think it's over. I don't think he'll ever be as hot again, like crowd-wise. I'm sure he's still going to be a good-looking man. But I think his career is over. Now, if I'm wrong, you know, all these people on the internet are like, you're fucking wrong. That's good. When you're negative as me, I want to be wrong. Trust me. I don't see it. I see him winning. It's kind of obvious. And once again, they worked backwards, but they did it. They only had like a sentence. The Bray Wyatt storyline kind of put on pause. They're like, oh, okay, we have nothing to SummerSlam. All right, you guys just stay in the back. Stephanie McMahon's got this shit. It's just bad. It's like me and Rob are writing a book. I'm just gonna go do one chapter. I'm gonna call it the SummerSlam chapter. I'm gonna be like, so the main character opens a door, stuff happens, SummerSlam. I expect 3,000 words for this chapter.
That's not far off from the plot line.
That's what it sounds like to me. It's just they had nothing, and they're like, we told a long story. Yay! Look at us. Give her. No, you didn't. You just fucking stalled and stalled and stalled and stalled. Bray Wyatt, this is almost a block. I mean, I don't know. Can you imagine Jericho winning this? I almost. Can I be a little evil? Can I say I almost want Jericho to win and be like, fuck it, just let's send Bray Wyatt home. What's the fucking point anymore? But I know a lot of people like Bray Wyatt. I used to like him, but it's just not the same. It's not the same. And not only that, but a lot of people are like, oh, it's because he lost to Cena. I think that killed his character. But I don't think he's doing any favors for himself in the ring. It just seems like, all right, I'm a WWE superstar now, taking a back seat. I don't know. I'm just very, very low on Bray Wyatt. And you know what? I hope he could be wrong. I hope he has a 5-star match and the fans go absolutely crazy. But I got to speak from the heart. I got to go. I got to win the championship. Bray Wyatt's going to win, and it's not going to matter. That's my pick. Positive Petey.
Okay.
Pick up the pace.
I'm not positive with this match. Like, my interest level as like a fan is the lowest for this match of any of the matches. Like, I would rather see Brie and Nikki Bella have a feud than watch this match. I'm going
get your wish.
I might get my wish. The internet thinks I will. I don't really want that. Unless it's bra and panties matches. If those come back with that feud, I'm in. But I think Wyatt's going to win it from a booking standpoint because he can't lose it, and that's who Jericho is. I'm the opposite of John Cena. I'm going to put you over. But the thing is, it doesn't make sense from kayfabe point of view. Like, he beats him at Battlegrounds. No stipulation against Rowan and Harper. He beats him. So if he's getting Harper and Rowan banned from the ringside for no reason, because he's already beat him with them at ringside, so why does he need it? But if he's going to get them banned from ringside, and he's already beaten him without that advantage, then kayfabe-wise, why would he lose now? Makes it dumb. But yeah, I think Wyatt's gonna win because if Wyatt doesn't win, then I feel like he's dead. But I think the Wyatt character kind of sucks now. I'm losing interest in it. I hope they change something and I get back into it. But yeah, I'm negative on it.
I don't think the Bray Wyatt character is dead. I mean, I don't know what shows you guys are watching, but I'm watching Monday Night Raw, and despite the losses he has taken on pay-per-view, I mean, he's wrestled relatively little, at least on Raw. I know he's wrestled some matches on SmackDown, main event, and places like that. He's picked up some wins there. But, you know, everybody is still, you know, singing. He's got the whole world in his hands. They've still got the iPhones out. They still got, you know, they're still lighting up arenas. They're having a good time with it. I think the thing that really hurt his career was getting in that feud with John Cena and Cena refusing to do the right thing. That loss at WrestleMania 30, I think, really set him back. And then he was just never able to get his footing. Yeah, he got to win the next at Extreme Rules, but it was just, they did everything short of putting up a whole neon sign going, look, everybody, the Wyatt family's cheating, so Cena really didn't lose this match, and then he lost that last man standing, and he's just been trying to find himself ever since. Losing Battleground, I knew that was a setup for this match, and I feel like he has to win. Now I agree with you guys that if he loses again, I think people really are going to start to lose interest. Hell, I'll probably lose interest because he'll just be that dog that reminds me. And we all lived in this fucking neighborhood, and every fucking neighborhood has that fucking dog. They have that fucking dog. It's behind a fucking fence or on a fucking chain or something, and it barks at anything that goes anywhere near it. Anything that goes near that fucking house, where it is, that dog just barks, and it's jumping at the fence, it's, at the edge of the chain, just barking, ready to hit you. But when you're like stopping, you're like, okay, motherfucker, I'm here, get me. He doesn't know what the fuck to do. So I feel like that's what Bray Wyatt will be if he loses. He really needs something to get things going, and I think the right thing will be happening, because if there's a perfect stage, unlike John Cena, Chris Jericho will do the right thing. So I'm going to go with Bray Wyatt. We're going to turn things around, and I think it'll end the feud and make perfect sense. So, Dave, I believe we want to do some...
Before we go to the next match, I just want to read a couple live comments. Martin Tolina Tino, I hope I said that right. Cody had to protect the face with a mask. Malik Douglas says Tumblr girls like Shield members and Prince Devitt a lot. I don't know why either. Well, Prince Devitt's a sexy motherfucker who can wrestle. That's why. The Shield members, I'm not too sure. But no, everywhere is the other guy. But anyway, if you have Tumblr, add me, because I'm like an old man that doesn't understand Tumblr. And it's Tumblr Kocosports, I think.
I think at your age, you're not supposed to be on Tumblr. I think it gets creepy if you're past a certain age on Tumblr. I think the cutoff's like 30.
Gotcha. So I'm the old man on Tumblr.
And unless you're famous.
Mr. the King, if Bray Wyatt... Well, I did win pay-per-view profits twice this year. Mr. the King says, if Bray Wyatt does not win and progress, I'm going to scrap being a fan. So I think he's with you and with Boo Boo. And just my thoughts, but if you lose all the time, you tend to get upset and begin to reflect your feelings physically, and I'm starting to notice this effect with Bray in his matches. So maybe he's just, I'm sure he's got to lose over and over and over again. It's got to be fucking depressing. I would like, as a doctor of science, I like to call that the Zack Ryder effect.
That's terrible. Poor Zack
Ryder. All right. Booms, back on track, buddy. Please leave 5 comments, and I'll cut off Booms every now and then to read them all. All right, go ahead, Booms. I
did want to comment on the Wyatt thing. I agree with you. I think he's still popular. I think he's still doing well. I feel like he's on the decline, and if they don't do something about it, then it's basically what you said. It's going to happen. And I also think it hurt him.
Let me ask you this: Do you think a win will cure some of those ailments?
I think a win will help, but because of Jericho's established reputation, it's basically he jobs to put people over. I think that hurts how much the win actually does. I think the big thing, though, with the Cena feud is not just that he lost at WrestleMania, but that in the process of dragging it out, they ended it really poorly, too. Like, after he got locked inside, what was that, a speaker case or something? After he got locked in that at the end of the match, they should have had him not show up on the show for like a week or two at least, like a couple weeks, have him just not.
He was out for a week. He was out for 1 week. I
thought he was back on that SmackDown.
I don't know if I think you may be right. I think he may have been back on that SmackDown, but I know he was definitely out that Raw afterwards. I do remember that.
This is what I think they need to do. Wyatt needs to win tonight. Cena needs to go closer toward that animal that they kept hinting at that Wyatt was going to pull out of him. He needs to go closer to that against Lesnar, trying to win and still lose. And then Wyatt needs to go after Cena again, and that storyline needs to culminate with him actually turning Cena into the monster. That is the best way that Cena could fix everything in that storyline, and that whole storyline ends up having a great payoff in the end, even if it's broken up and makes it look like a really good feud.
You're talking about John Cena, not Felix Fix-It. You know you're talking about John Cena, right?
I can dream.
All right, go ahead, Booms.
All right, we need to move on to the next match. We got to keep this thing moving here. Next thing we got going on here. Here we go. We've got a flag match between Jack Swagger and Ivan Drago. I mean Alexander Rusev. What can I say? Rusev, the up-and-coming heel, has made a huge impact since he got called up from NXT. Lana, absolutely perfect on the mic. Really gets the crowd riled up. Really feeds, feeds off the crowd and kind of gauges what she needs to do and gets the crowd hot. She looks great in those high heels, by the way, but that's a different story. Jack Swagger recently turned face. Taking the whole Tea Party Patriot gimmick to a different level, defending the country. Zeb Coulter really doing well as a face, playing into it. The whole We the People gimmick is absolutely. I mean, I think it's great. It's very hokey, but let me ask you this, guys: is this cheesy good or cheesy bad? That's what I want to know. So, Rob, let me ask you real quick. Before you give me your pick, what do you think about this feud? I mean, does it remind you of the 1980s? And is it cheesy good, cheesy bad?
I feel like it's cheesy bad, but I feel like that's also tainted by the fact that in the entire time I've been back watching, Jack Swagger's done nothing but injure one person that I liked.
He did more than that.
I don't like Swagger, so I can't get that into the feud. But I am interested to see the match, so I guess it is at least a little bit good.
I don't know.
All right.
Just not that it's getting over. I think at the end of the day, I'm like, really? This still works? So, I don't know. It's kind of like seeing an old magician, and, he's going to Vegas, and they're like, oh, shit, what is this old fuck magician going to do? And is he going to rob a bank? No. Is he going to fucking drown himself? No. He's going to pull a rabbit out of that fucking box. And people go absolutely insane. Because, Las Vegas is like the fucking... It is like the mecca of magicians. And they're like, holy shit, the rabbit out of the fucking hat! That just went down! And everyone goes crazy. And I'm just sitting here like, this still works? Bravo, old man! Bravo! So,
It's not the only match.
I'm a little shocked that it's getting over, but at the same time, I guess, good one for you, old man. Vince McMahon is that old magician. He's like, the rabbit, get it? We get it, Vince. We get it.
Poop jokes.
All right, so Rob, real quick, who are you going with?
I'm going to go with Rusev just because I want to see Lana's ass more. So, Rusev. For purely bastard reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Dave?
I think this match happened by accident. I honestly don't think this was the plan. I think they went out there and they're like, holy shit, people are cheering for Jack Swagger. And they're like, that was such a loud cheer, we should run with it. I don't know. There's a part of me that it's SummerSlam, so the good guy's supposed to win. But at the same time, does Rusev really, can he survive a loss? You know what I'm saying? So it's really tricky. Matter of fact, I'm going to say this. There's like the Rock next week. I think this is the one match that's the most up in the air. Like, if I was like, oh, God, I have no idea. I'm going to say Jack Swagger wins. I'm not very confident about that. But the only reason I say Jack Swagger wins is the good guys win at SummerSlam. And I think they have to have a lot of faces win this year. I'm going with the formula. Even though if it was me, I would definitely let Rusev win, but I'm not going with the heart. I'm going with the formula. But I think this is the hardest match to call. And I don't know if it's going to be that good. A flag match? Come on, guys.
Absolutely. I think this has been kind of like cheesy good because it kind of gives me like a throwback because I remember being a kid back in the 80s and the whole Cold War. And I remember the Berlin Wall coming down. And this was just so, even though the Cold War is over, kind of with current events, oh no, am I making light of the Malaysian airliner crash? Ugh. Okay. I like it. It's just cheesy good. It's a guilty pleasure. It's like me with Friday the 13th. It's not the best movies in the world, but I own the fucking box set. And every time when I get a little hankering, sometimes I'll whip out the the box set and start watching a few movies. Okay, there, guilty. So it's one of my guilty pleasures. I like it. Now comes the conundrum with these two. Rusev, can he survive? I think if he loses the match, it's not going to kill his career. It's not going to be. It's not going to be the end of his career. It's not going to really hurt him all that much. It's just he won't be the same. He's going to have that that plate of shining armor is going to have a little spot on it. But also at the same time, can you really have Swagger lose? Because I mean, he was just doing really nothing as a heel. He was constantly jobbing, and then him turning face, him and Coulter, getting cheers for a change, and people getting behind him. I mean, that really helped him out, and he's actually doing shit now. He's actually wrestling some good matches. So what do you do? Here's what I think is going to happen, and this leads to my pick. I think Rusev wins this match by disqualification because I think Coulter has enough getting attacked. So to defend Coulter, Swagger hits Rusev with the American flag, pops him, drops him, and he rolls out of the ring. Referee calls for their disqualification, and then there's Swagger and Coulter waving the red, white, and blue in the ring. But Rusev wins the match, but Swagger gets the last laugh. So, and that's what I think's gonna. At least that's how I would book it. You can't just. I mean, of course, this is WWE, but if it was up to me, that's what I would have. That's what I would have. You got to end it. We the people. Gonna have with the red, white, and blue waving in the middle of the ring. So, but I'm going with Rusev. All right. Oh, and yes, no kids, no need to point out that I'm well aware that the Russian flag is also red, white, and blue. Just drop your fucking comments. I don't give a shit.
That's hedging your bets. No matter what, you're right.
I just know some fucking troll's gonna be like, well, sir, did you know that the Russian flag is also red, white, blue, except it's like the French flag, but instead of the bars going this way, they go this way, sir. So technically, the red, white, and blue will be waving in the ring either way. Just the question you would like to ask, sir, is if it's the stars and stripes or the three horizontal lines. I know that shit's coming, so I'm cutting it off right now.
I didn't know that Dave was commenting on our videos now.
Oh, please. He's the guy who Googles himself on the internet. He Googles Dave Kokotis nude and gets scared by the results.
All right,
I have a serious question.
Comments. We got two. Mr. The King says, "To Boom Boom. It's directly to you. And it's not about the flag. I would have died if it was about the flag."
It would have been great.
Bray Wyatt needs to defeat John Cena. There's no avoiding it. Yeah. That's true, but it's not going to happen. Remember all those people online? Give it time? Yeah, give it time.
Yeah, look what happened.
Give it time, guys.
Wrestling and Combat Sports Talk says, I don't think Cena is going to become a monster. I see Cena retiring after the match on Raw. Whoa. A schooling, I would love to live in your world. I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know if that's going to happen. And Andy Papp said you three should replace Cole, King, and JBL. You know what?
Hey, you actually talk about the fucking wrestling matches.
I really appreciate the compliment, but it would be the worst 3-0 team ever. Boom Boom would just throw his mic down and walk off, and me and Rob would be like, as a fan, I want the people to talk about the match. Me and Rob would be like, hey, remember an Excite Bike? You can create your own tracks? Meanwhile, Stone Cold just won the title from Cena at WrestleMania. So I
like how Stone Cold's coming out of retirement and their version.
I don't think we're the right guys for the job.
Dave would have to be our Michael Cole. You'd have to be the one doing the $9.99 over and over, because Dave and I would keep getting derailed every time we tried to do it on some unrelated tangent. You'd have to just be like, $9.99, guys, $9.99.
Well, see, that would make Rob the king, because he would be talking about titties, and so he would be like the puppies guy, making it sexual innuendos, and Dave would be JBL because he's negative as fuck and trying to get his one-liners in. So
and he does love Bo Dallas.
It's true.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
We'll send our resumes today.
All right, sounds like a plan, man. Sounds like a plan. Let's see here. Moving on here. Next match here. Oh, here's one I'm actually looking forward to. This is for the Divas Championship. The current champion, AJ Lee versus Paige. Of course, so far these have been the only two Divas champions for 2014. AJ Lee had one hell of a run of about damn near a year. Paige comes in on Raw, beats her in about 30 seconds, has a mediocre run, but not her fault. AJ Lee makes her return, wins it back the next night. These two are doing the whole frenemy thing. I think Paige is really playing to her strengths, being a heel. AJ Lee can play either side of the fence, but I think she's doing a great job as the face. So the only thing I regret is I really wish that this was a submission match for the Divas title. You have the PTO versus the Black Widow. I just think that would maybe that's the next match. But this is actually what I want to see. These are two girls who can wrestle, they're not very hard on the eyes, if you know what I mean, and I think you do. And, it's kind of interesting. They're trying to one-up each other. They're going back and forth. I enjoy it. So, all right, Dave, put down the baby oil and let me know. Which one of these two young ladies are you going to pick?
This is really difficult. And you know what? I don't know. I'm going to be completely honest. I don't know if this is good booking or bad booking. And I mean that because I think both girls have to win. So I think that's good booking, but then it's also bad booking because I think the one who loses falls so far. So I don't know. I'm kind of in the middle. I think maybe out of all the matches, this is the best booked one. But at the same time, I think the one who loses falls so much. Is it just me? You guys can answer this when it's your turn. Are you getting tired? It doesn't make sense AJ as a face and still doing the crazy gimmick. She's like, I'm a good guy, cheer for me, but don't you say crazy. I don't know. I do not find crazy people attractive. Maybe it's just me. I mean, maybe I'm up for both of us, but I just don't. And then she's like, I'm a face, but don't say crazy. I'm just like, stop. But I'm gonna go with Paige, but I'm not really confident. I'm going to go with Paige because I'm looking at whoever loses this falls, and I think AJ Lee can handle the fall better than Paige can. That's just my humble opinion. So I'm going to go with Paige wins because AJ Lee... I'm starting to sound like Batman. AJ Lee can handle it. She's not the hero we need. All right, she's not the hero we deserve, but it's the hero we need. So I'm going to go with Paige because AJ Lee can bounce back faster than Paige can.
All right, what say you, Rob?
I am actually on the other end of the spectrum in that I will say I'm really excited for the match. I do love the Paige heel turn. I think it's been great. But I think the crazy aspect, I'm okay with it because I don't view it as a heel versus face match. I view it as a heel and a kind of heel match because she's not going against her because she's bad and she's good. She's going against her because she fucking attacked her. Like, it's more of a personal thing than a good versus evil thing to me personally. So I think the crazy thing's okay. And I also think if you don't like crazy women, you have not had sex with enough. Because crazy women are the best.
I've been married since I've been 17, so...
crazy women are the best.
That could be a case.
I have to say, that boat sailed on Dave Dakota a long time ago. Now, granted, I think his wife was maybe crazy because she married him, and, let's just face it, Dave, she got the short end of that stick.
How do we know Dave's not the crazy sex for her, though? Like, Dave's the crazy one, and she's like, you're crazy as fuck. Let's do this.
Maybe, possibility. But I got married to a girl that was way out of my league, very young, and I was like, hey, not going to do any better than this. Better settle down here. Hopefully she's satisfied.
It's a good play. It's a good play.
Good play, sir.
But on the actual match, my prediction, I would prefer AJ Lee to win, so that's actually going to be my vote for a number of reasons. The biggest one actually being the fall aspect that you brought up. I feel like AJ Lee is a stronger performer as a title holder than Paige is, and I think Paige needs more time to develop in the actual big leagues, in the main shows, and get more comfortable before she gets the belt back again. I don't think she's ready yet.
All great points. Booms?
So Rob, for the record, who's your official pick?
AJ Lee.
Okay. Wow, I hate that I have to play tiebreaker, but I'll do it anyway. I'm going to go with AJ because I feel like WWE doesn't have any confidence in Paige. Like I mentioned on when I was introing this match, she was just absolutely red hot as on NXT. They brought her in as a face, but they never gave her a chance. Instead of going, okay, she's been wrestling since she was a teenager. She, grew up in a wrestling family. She's been around the business her whole life. She was just shocked that she got called, invited to NXT to work there, and look at her here in NXT working her way up through the women's division, and wow, she got the shock of a lifetime. She fulfilled her dream her first night on the main roster on Monday Night Raw. It's amazing. Look at all the obstacles she had to overcome. What's her goals, and who is she? Trying to get to. And no, they were just like, they put her out there for a couple matches. Okay, she's really not champion material. Let's just have her tread water till AJ gets back. And it just fell. And I think things could have worked had they given it a chance. And I don't think they did. And if they don't have any confidence, if they didn't have any confidence in her, a couple of months ago, why are they going to have confidence in her now? So I'm going to go with AJ, but that's not Paige's fault. And I will say this is a good booked match because I really don't care who wins because I'll like whoever wins. And I also think that both people could win, either or could win, and it would still make sense either way. So, but with that being said, I'm going with, this is where I'm negative on WWE. And I'm saying they don't have confidence in Paige, so that means I'm going with AJ.
I feel like a fool.
Well, you are, but it has nothing to do with this game.
Man, that was vicious.
Yeah, Boo Boom's always got the quick grandpa jokes. He's got them lined up. All right, Booms, what's next?
All right, remember, I'm not your daddy, I'm your grandpa. All right. Here's one that I've actually been looking forward to, been wanting to see. WWE's been teasing the hell out of this. They've got the fans just anxious as hell to see these two finally get their hands on each other one-on-one in the ring, and we're going to get to see it at SummerSlam. We're talking about Dean Ambrose, the Titty Master, versus Mr. Plan B himself, Seth Rollins, in a lumberjack match. So, Rob, I guess I'll start with you on this one. One, are you just as anxious as pretty much I am in the WWE Universe is to see this match? And just what do you think about both of these guys post-Shield breakup?
I love them. I think they're both fantastic. I think Rollins needs to cut better promos, but his matches I love. I'm tired of that same goddamn promo, though, Rollins. We talk about it on all our review shows. You need to cut that shit out and get new material. Talk with Heyman for a little bit backstage. I don't know. Come up with something. Because you're looking like shit when you're matched up against Ambrose, who is basically not just titty master, but microphone master lately. I think the feud looks great, but I also think the feud needs to die unless something drastic happens at the pay-per-view. I think the feud needs to get basically ended tonight. Well, Sunday night. And my vote is for Dean Ambrose to win, but I feel like if Dean Ambrose wins, Rollins has been made to look too weak and cowardly over the past 2 months to really keep the feud going realistically with how bad he's been basically getting beat by Ambrose for 2 months.
That's a good way to put it. I mean, remember he tore up the Money in the Bank contract. He dumped popcorn in there, dumped a soda, put JBL's hat in there, carried it around. He has been stalking Seth Rollins at every turn, keeping his promise. He said he would be, after that breakup, after he got betrayed, he would be behind every corner. So I could really understand where he's coming from. It kind of puzzles me, and this might be something for a little bit different. I find it weird that after the Shield broke up, I mean, you've got Roman Reigns, who has all right to be just as upset with Rollins, but instead he decided to go up against the Authority and Triple H and that crew. Why, Ambrose took it just personal to a whole different level and went straight after Rollins. I mean, do you find that kind of weird?
I actually, on a lot of our SmackDown reviews earlier before we started the weekend review, I commented on that a lot after the breakup. It's something that really annoys me with the breakup is there's no reason that Ambrose and Rollins shouldn't be helping each other out when they see one of them getting jumped by people. There's no reason that these two guys that should still be basically bros shouldn't be coming down to help each other out. That's why that one week, whenever they actually did do that, I marked the fuck out. I was like, yes, this is the best shit ever. The Shield's still together. It's so awesome. And then it wasn't. Like, I don't understand why they're doing that. I guess it's just to separate them more from being the Shield. I think it's a poor decision because you don't want Reigns to be a champion yet. Why not have Reigns and Ambrose at least work as a tag team and maybe hold the tag belts for a little bit? Like, there's so many options. There's no reason, kayfabe-wise, either, for them not to do anything together.
All right,
so who you got? Who you got?
Ambrose. Because you got to stay with the Titty Master.
Yeah, the Titty Master's pretty amazing.
I'm going to go. Titties that need mastering, Dean Ambrose will always have a career.
I think when the Shield broke up, WWE, at least it felt this way. I don't know if they did it on purpose. It's one of those things where you look at the Shield breakup and you're like, was that done on purpose? Or did they just not drop the ball? I don't know. There's a part of me, conspiracy, that I think they dropped the ball on Dean on purpose so that it looks this way. But to me, it looks like WWE wants, Roman Reigns to be the next Golden Boy. Seth Rollins was the shock to be the heel. And it was kind of like, Dean Ambrose, go fuck yourself and go prove yourself. It felt that way, you know what I mean? And out of all three of them, I think Dean Ambrose is doing the best of the breakup. I honestly think his promos, matches, just the way he acts overall. And he just got signed on to a movie. He's going to be doing the next WWE Studios and Lionsgate movie. That was just broken today, news-wise. So I think
storyline sounds cool too.
Yeah, so I think it's called. I don't know. It's named after a TNA pay-per-view.
Lockdown.
Lockdown. Yeah. So hopefully it's not as bad as TNA's pay-per-view. Lockdown.
Well, the storyline that they put out with like the brief synopsis was basically, I assume it's him playing the cop, but he's a cop that's locked inside of his precinct, being hunted by corrupt cops.
Sounds sweet. I'd buy that. I'd buy a ticket to see that. But I think he's doing the best, and since it's almost the lock, this is the strongest I got for a lock this week. My lock has to be Dean Ambrose, because Money in the Bank, it just isn't on the line. So if Dean Ambrose doesn't win, what the fuck's the point? I'm almost certain that my lock is Dean Ambrose. Booms, do you agree with us? You agree with my lock? Are you going to give us a Lee Corso?
Not so fast, my fellow friends. I got to go with Seth Rollins on this one. He is absolutely on fire right now. He's Plan B. He's like the top henchman. He sold everybody out. He was the Judas. He sold everybody out, and he got the Money in the Bank briefcase for it. And you got to keep this guy's streak alive. You got to build him up to be a credible threat. You got to think that, whoever comes out champion, that, here's this guy who looks strong, that's like, hey, there's this crazy man who's been stalking me for months. I finally squashed him, and you know what? My dance card's free, so I can cash this in anytime I want. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean he's going to win, but you got to have, when he comes out to cash in that Money in the Bank, people go, oh, shit, not, okay, is he going to do it now? All right. No, I think you have to have him stay strong, because I think Seth Rollins has the most to gain by a win, and Dean Ambrose has the least to lose by a loss. He has been losing as of late compared to the when you compare these guys' tracks back side by side. But it hasn't hurt Dean Ambrose's popularity. It hasn't affected his character. He still keeps coming back for more. And just because he loses doesn't mean it's going to hurt his character. It doesn't mean he's going to stop coming after Seth Rollins. But Seth Rollins needs to get a win to keep that heel, because remember, he's the betrayer. And the deepest layer of hell is reserved for the betrayers. And I think that betrayal really needs to pay off. And you're going to get that with a victory, and you're going to get that with him teasing that cash in, which is rumored to be coming within the next month or two. So keep your eyes open for it. So I'm going to go with Mr. Plant B, Seth Rollins.
I have to say, I do agree that Ambrose has nothing to lose by losing, really. I mean, I think fans will be annoyed, but I don't think it'll actually hurt him, because all he has to do is come out the next Monday night and tell Rollins, you think I give a shit that I lost? I don't care. I kicked the shit out of you, and you're still not going to cash in that contract. I'm not done with you. And
there you go. Right there, Rob. You just summed up everything that needed to happen right there with that sentence. And real quick, wanted to do some live comments. Tiffany, Nikki, I'm not going to read your comment because I don't want to embarrass you, but you can hit the pause button right now, go take care of some business, then come back and hit play and try to catch back up. So feel free to do that. And then we have Nita Jones. Dave, this is for me and you. She says, Miss Nita here, hell yeah, looking sassy there in that photo. She says, my husband is convinced that I have crushes on you, Dave and Booms, because I have to watch all your live shows. And Dave, you may be a negative Nelly, but you are almost always right, and I love when you go off on one of your tangents. That's always entertaining.
I appreciate the kind words. Also, I'd like to thank Brandella and Andy Paps for sharing our shows on Facebook. All right.
Nice. Hey, we're number 3 on Wrestling Rant's list. Maybe next list will be number 2.
I'm working on it.
Getting there. Really quick, Mr. The King RFW says, Rollins and Dean is just a waste of time, and hopefully this garbage will not continue. And if it does, the last match will be for the contract where Rollins wins. Yawn.
I think people really want South on. I think people really want South on this feud with the Battleground match not happening.
Yep.
I think this was the undisputed world, and then they come to Tampa and they're like, yeah, we're just not going to have the match. And people are like, no, I'm fucking done. Fuck these guys. Fuck you. Fuck your mother. Like, I think Tampa really lost a lot of steam as far as fans go with this feud.
I mean, the worst part is they could have got to the same point by having someone just interfere in the goddamn match really early into it, just to immediately fuck him over and be like, look, I have all the power. I'm part of the authority. I can do whatever the fuck I want. And had it where it's like, the match is very obviously nothing got solved or anything, but it at least happened, and it gave him more fuel to be more pissed off to build up for this match. And it would have accomplished the same damn goals without pissing everyone off.
All right. No, I absolutely agree. I think that's a great point. I think it's bad that that's why every ticket says card subject to change. It's because of shit like that. And I really think that ripped a lot of people off, made a lot of people mad unnecessarily. But I think it continued the storyline, and I think it really needs to pay off at SummerSlam. If you're going to hold it back on that filler pay-per-view to get it for the big, a top-tier pay-per-view like SummerSlam, it has to pay off. So I really hope this match does pay off. I hope they make the wait worth it, because me and Dave absolutely buried Battleground, and now we're saying, well, you said SummerSlam's going to be awesome. You've been building everything up towards this. Now it's time to pay off. All right, guys, going here. Next is this one I'm not looking forward to, because I think we all kind of know what's going to happen here in this one. But we got Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton. You got the Superman versus the Viper. Of course, the grooming of Roman Reigns continues. I know David made a comment on a couple of shows ago saying that they're going too slow with Roman Reigns. I actually think they're going about I'll disagree. I think they're actually going about the right pace with him. I feel that if you're going to have Roman Reigns, if he's been picked, he's the golden boy. If they just go, boom, he's it. He's the one. He's going to be the one taking over. I think this is exactly how you need to do it. You're slowly building him up. He needs to start giving longer promos, which he's been doing slightly. You know, he's trying to be that cool, good guy, you know, kind of like Razor Ramon kind of esque style.
He's trying to douche you. That's what he's trying to do.
I don't know. Someone did raise a good point if he's basically like a modern non-dead man version of The Undertaker. He's this guy that goes out there, he kicks ass, he doesn't have to say a lot, and he doesn't really say a lot, which I think is good, but to be fair, Undertaker, when he did say shit, said really good shit, usually.
Exactly. And here's the thing. You're going to have to talk if you're going to be the champion. If you're going to sell tickets, if you're going to sell pay-per-views, if you're going to make guest appearances on ESPN, the Today Show, the live with Regis isn't doing anymore, with Michael Strahan and Kelly, whatever. You're going to have to be able to articulate to the masses, what you do, why this means a lot, why you should buy the next pay-per-view, and, why are you a superstar. And then also, he's been protected in matches with some veterans, particularly against the likes of like Kane. He's been wrestling short matches or tag matches, handicap matches, been working with people. Well, now he's going to go one-on-one with Randy Orton. And I believe this match is scheduled to go, at least according to one spoiler, well, not spoiler, but kind of layout I saw, is about roughly 20 minutes. I'm interested to see if he can carry a match that long. And if he's going to be a main event guy, you got to be prepared to take, to carry the ball and go with it and have a compelling match. Otherwise, you get crap like, Scott Steiner versus Triple H was just fucking painful to watch. So, I think this will be a big test for him, and let's just see if he can clear it. So I honestly feel like you have to have Roman Reigns win to keep the momentum going, because if he loses, I mean, it's just he stumbles, and then suddenly, okay, he stumbled, and it's kind of like, oh, yeah, you tripped just before the finish line. That sucks, man, So I really feel like Roman Reigns has to win this for it to make any sense. So, again, no surprise with anybody here. I'm going to go with Roman Reigns.
Yeah, I'll go first. First off, I just want to mention something that Boo Boo mentioned. He was on ESPN within the last 24 to 48 hours. It's weird with the time zones. And he did a great job.
I liked it a lot.
Pretty good, and he was having fun, and the host liked him. So, as far as, his first test in a big market media, he did great on ESPN. Just people were having a good time, so that's good.
And also,
this is my lock of the century of the week. There's no way Roman Reigns. I'm more interested to see, because Randy Orton's had good matches for his standards for like a couple of weeks now, and there was internet reports that WWE was mad at Randy Orton, same guy, Randy Orton. They were mad at him because he was kind of mailing it in on house shows to prepare for the SummerSlam match. So I think Randy Orton and him have something to prove, and I think this might be a sleeper match. And I'm hoping that the Randy Orton that makes me look like a fool because I hate him so much shows up. And not the Randy Orton that says, look, that's the fucking guy I'm talking about. That's why I hate him. So I'm going with this Stone Cold block of the century of the week. Roman Reigns.
You got Reigns, all right. Rob, are you going to go up you going to complete the trifecta, or are you going to go rogue on us?
I think we all know where my vote is, seeing as I'm pretty big Roman Reigns fanboy. Yeah, like, even from a booking standpoint, it's got to be Reigns. If you really want to set up the Triple H versus Reigns feud, he has to beat Orton, so that he becomes like that big of a problem that Triple H is just like, fuck it, I'll deal with you myself. And I think that's going to be a great feud. I'm excited for that, and I think he has to win this. And I also want to say, though, I think they're pushing him at about the right speed. They're starting to put him on non-WWE things to promote and everything. And the big thing with that is it doesn't matter how good he is on the mic when he does stuff like that. That's him being him. Like, he's still representing the brand. He's representing his character to a degree, but he has more freedom to be himself, and you see it in the ESPN thing. He's just having fun. He's being charismatic, and it works.
All right, no disagreements here. I'm just interested in seeing it from the standpoint of, let's just see, if the new pick, chosen one, can pass the test. That's the way I'm looking at this match. Next here is, and I would not be surprised if this is billed as like something like a co-main event or held just before the main event. To be honest, I would not be surprised. You've got Brie Bella versus Stephanie McMahon. Of course, this is the first time Stephanie has stepped in a WWE ring in about a decade. Brie Bella, coming back after quitting the WWE, got Stephanie McMahon arrested. Of course, Stephanie this past Monday night returned the favor, the whole alleged affair with the physical therapist. It's more convoluted. I really feel like this is something that's geared towards a soap opera. And let me ask you this, ladies. We got a few people here watching. We've got Tiffany, Nikki, and Nita Jones watching. Maybe a few more here. But ladies, let me ask you this. From a woman's point of view, do you find this kind of like soap opera-ish and like insulting to your intelligence? Just let me know in the comments. I'm actually kind of interested, from a woman's perspective. What do you think about this match? But as a, obviously as a dude and the sexiest man on all of Net Wrestling Radio, if that, I think it's gotten too muddied up with a lot of unnecessary drama. I kind of like, the whole Stephanie's a bitch. She's been the daddy's girl. She was brought up in this. She's never had to really work a day in her life, and now she's just, stepping in and taking over the company. And then you've got Brie Bella, who got, fell in love, got married, sticking by her husband through thick and thin, refused to take the abuse, then came back, was assaulted, did something logical, had the person arrested, and then WWE has to go and, muck it up by, beating up Nikki Bella, having them assaulted, and bringing up the whole personal trainer and the whole alleged affair with Daniel Bryan. And I'm just like, okay, guys, it's like you were building a good hamburger here. You had everything. You had, nice toasted buns. You had the big old quarter-pound beef patty, some pepper jack cheese, some pickles and onions and lettuce and tomato, and then you didn't stop. You're like, okay, let's put some onion rings on here. Let's put some jalapenos. Let me put some chipotle mayonnaise. Let me put on some brown mustard here. I just felt like they just kept adding to it, and it's just something that would have been. I think less would have been more with this. But guys, what do you think about it? Rob, actually, Dave, let me start with you. You're a married man here. You've got a little bit more experience with women on a different levels compared to me and Rob here. Wink. Do you think this is kind of too soap opera-ish and insulting, or do you think, this whole stand by your man kind of thing is hokey? What are you thinking about this feud?
I think it's not done good enough. I mean, I watch a lot of television with my wife, and she watches women's shows, and they're just not telling a good story. I don't think it matters what sex you are if you're not telling a good story. Like, I'm watching a show with my wife now, and I really enjoy it. It's got a little bit of cheese to it, but it's not bad. Mistresses. Sex in the City. A lot of guys will make fun of Sex in the City, but as a guy who sits back and looks at writing, Sex in the City is written really well, and so are the Kerry Diaries. So,
hold on. You'll watch Mistresses, Sex in the City, and you give us shit for liking Total Divas? You son of a bitch.
But I'm with my lady friend, and
Excuses.
All I'm saying is it doesn't matter what sex you are. It depends on if the story's good, and the story's not good. If you put that in a soap opera, people stop watching it. It's just not good. So to me, that's just my humble opinion. But I just don't give a shit. I really, from the bottom of my fucking heart, don't give a shit. I'm going to say Brie Bella just because they have to let the good guys win, but I really don't care. It's just bad. And I'm glad, but we talked about this on our 12-hour main event review. It's just, why steal TNA's bad ideas? Why? Why steal TNA's bad ideas? It makes no fucking sense. This is the match that I will probably pay attention to the least. The only thing that gives me a spark of hope is positive Petey's idea of maybe Daniel Bryan will return. But even then, I'm going to be like, really? This is how he returns? I don't know. I just don't give a shit, and I guess I'm going with Brie Bella because it's SummerSlam and the good guy has to win, and then Stephanie can feel better about herself. But it's weird. This is just me, and I know you guys don't watch TNA. I watch TNA, and to me, Dixie Carter went through a table, and Stephanie's like, "Wow, I have to be a star, Daddy. Look at her." It's just how I feel. It's like, come on, Stephanie, get the fuck over yourself. And how good is this match going to be? I mean, Stephanie at times looks like an old fucking lady. She's not an athlete. I mean,
that body is not an old lady's body.
Really? Go look at her again. Maybe I'm just being a little nitpicking on her, but she's not as sexy as she used to be.
Well, no, she's not 20 either. But
yeah,
she's still pretty
Get the
hot.
fuck out of the ring! You ain't no fucking Ric Flair, bitch! Get the fuck out of the ring! I have nothing. I'll sum it up like this: I have nothing but negativity in this match. Brie Bella is going to be my pick only because I have to defend my crown of greatness. If not, it would be the who gives a shit. Pick us up, Petey. Positive. Rob.
I'd say I do agree. I feel like they went the wrong way with promoting this. I think this feud is a great idea. It's a way to keep Daniel Bryan somewhat relevant without having him actually be on screen, because at the core, the feud stems from that. But I feel like if they wanted to keep building heat, they did a great job with Stephanie getting arrested. That was awesome. The whole planning the contract and everything. They were doing great up until Monday, when they're like, you know what? And he was banging this indie wrestler / physical therapist. And he's like, dude, this doesn't make sense for Daniel Bryan's character. This is stupid. This is dumb. When they could have went with a whole nother angle to build heat. All they had to do was have Brie Bella flip and lose her shit about how they've basically got Daniel Bryan on the risk of having his whole career ended because of what they put him through, because of how they treated, and she was going to do that to Stephanie. And it would have added hype for the match, and it wouldn't have been stupid. Well, as stupid. But I want Brie Bella to win, and I want Brie Bella to win because Triple H is interfering in the match, and Daniel Bryan's music comes on, and he comes running down to the ring with a chair, hits Triple H in the back of the head, and then chokes him out while Brie wins the match. He choked out a robber with one arm. He can do this.
Oh my god, that is awesome. Alright, so we got you down for Brie. Guys, I hate to split the trifecta, but I'm going to go with Stephanie because one of the chief complaints we had on here, and believe me, I could have gone either way. And I remembered, well, the thing that makes the most sense is, you know, Brie's been through hell. She's been taunted and teased and slapped and, you know, now arrested. And I'm like, well, what makes the storybook ending to make it all make sense, to make us all have the feel-good moment is that she has to beat Stephanie and stand over her and do the yes chant. Then I remembered, oh, this is WWE, and this is Boobs McMahon. Not gonna happen. She never gets her fucking comeuppance. Never. I was like, hey, I was one of those guys who said, okay, maybe. And then Dave was like, oh, just because the bitch gets thrown some goddamn mud, you think that's some fucking comeuppance for fucking months of bullshit? Hell no. She ain't gonna put anybody over. And I'm thinking, if they're teasing that Nikki's going to turn heel on her sister and join the Authority, which makes absolutely no goddamn sense whatsoever, I'm really hoping that angle's been scrapped already because, hey, if you can scrap 3 Angry Black Men as a faction, you can scrap Nikki Bella joining the Authority because fuck it, why not? it's like I said, it's Stephanie, and I don't look for this match to be too particularly great because Stephanie decided not to get in the ring to shake off maybe some ring rust to try to get in the rhythm. No, she's just going to go out there cold turkey. And guys, I don't know where the hell this is going to go. Or maybe she'll pull a switcheroo. Maybe she'll make, maybe to fuck with Brie. Maybe she'll make her wrestle her own sister. Like, you know what? I'm not cleared or whatever. Or I'm the boss. So you know what? You got to wrestle your own sister. Brie, if you win, your husband gets his contract back or whatever. Nikki, if you lose, you get fired or something like that. I could, kind of like Kirk versus Spock in Star Trek. Oh, nerdy reference. Right there. Maybe I could see something like that. But I think Javier almost sums it up best when he says, this Brie-Stephanie feud, I just had the same feeling that with the Dixie Carter and Bully Ray Table situation. I'm just praying for it to end ASAP. But going to go with Boobs McMahon, so put my pick down for Stephanie.
You did say something that made me think, like, it wouldn't shock me. WWE likes to reuse shit. They just had Brie arrested. It wouldn't amaze me if the pre-show or whatever was Stephanie telling Brie that if she wants her to drop the charges, Brie's going to have to wrestle someone else instead of her, and then making her wrestle Nikki. That wouldn't shock me.
See, kids, we just wrote WWE's pay-per-view right here. In like an hour, we've written the whole pay-per-view. My God, come on, WWE, we're available. Come on, I'll work cheap.
And we'll do commentary.
Rob, I mean, shit, just throw a couple of ring rats his way. He'll be happy. And give him a Happy Meal every now and then so he keeps going. There you go, WWE. It's a great deal.
And you could have it for only $9.99.
All right.
Way to make the save, Rob.
I got to cook pizza tonight. Booms, keep an eye on the comments, and let's get this ball rolling, sweetheart.
All right. Next year, we're going to go to the main event of the evening. It's going to be for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. You've got the defending champion, John Cena, versus the former UFC Heavyweight Champion, the Beast, Brock Lesnar. Okay, that was the worst Paul Heyman impression ever. But, all right, Dave, we'll start out with you. What the hell do you think about this one, bro?
I think WWE has worn us down. They have fucking won. And what I mean by that is, I want to rant, I want to put my energy into if John Cena wins, I'm going to be angry and pump my fist, but they fucking won. I mean, there's other YouTubers that are fucking doing this shit every day. Like, I fucking hate John Cena, bro! Really, dude, you fucking won. You worn us down. You worn us down so much that we don't give a fuck about SummerSlam. You worn us down so much that we're not willing to pay $9.99. You worn us down so much that I could have seen Kenta sign with WWE, instead traded in my tickets for UFC tickets. You've worn us down. Congratulations. We don't hate John Cena. We just don't enjoy the whole product.
Now, Dave, I'm going to ask you this. Do you think this is fair with the criticism? Because I believe the plan was, had he not been injured, that this would have been Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar. Obviously, John Cena put into a position where normally he wouldn't have been. I mean, do you think it's fair?
Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Injuries happen. Injuries happen. I mean, I don't understand why John Cena gets this fucking protected fucking bubble. If you have an NFL franchise and your quarterback goes down and you put in a shitty quarterback to replace him, and you're like, well, it's not the shitty quarterback's fault. Look, the fucking good quarterback went down. No one's going to be like, wow, general manager, that's a great point. You decided not to sign a decent backup quarterback. Who the fuck talks like that? No, only John Cena fans talk like that. No one else does. No one fucking does. So, yeah, it's still your fucking fault. Just because Joe Montana went down, fucking Steve Young goes in the game and throws 97 interceptions, you're not like, well, 49ers general manager. No. You're like, holy shit, you got... Dude, speaking of 49ers, remember when it was fucking Montana, fucking Young, Bono, Elvis Gerback on the same fucking team?
I don't think we were that alive then.
Oh, you weren't alive back then? Let me tell you when Joe Davis won the Super Bowl. But no, dude, it was just fucking... just because someone goes down, it doesn't make an excuse to suck, all right? Like, oh, hey, I fucking hate it. It makes no sense whatsoever. But with that said, my pick is Brock Lesnar because it is pay-per-view buys, and at the end of the day, there have been 1,017 reports that Brock Lesnar wins, and Brock Lesnar loses the title to fucking Shield McShielders a lot at fucking WrestleMania, which would make sense. But the bottom line is, even if John Cena wins, who cares? Fucking cares anymore. Your titles fucking mean nothing. It's like, congratulations, you're not making us angry anymore. We just don't care about your product. You finally won, WWE. Dun 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 dun! Why? Why? There's so many John Cena fans, and the John Cena fans are the ones who spend the money. Oh, do go on. How do the John Cena fans buy the network? How did that happen? Please, do go on. So, I go Brock Lesnar, but if John Cena wins, shit. Congratulations.
If John Cena wins, Dave Kocosports will commit seppuku live on air.
Exactly. Congratulations. Man, go watch the G1. You might be able to find it on Kocosports.net video on demand. Go watch the final 2 matches. If you're a little depressed because you're like, wow, look at this SummerSlam card, just watch the 2 final matches at the G1. You got homework. We're not here to depress you. We're here to fucking give our honest opinion and then say, look, there's other great wrestling. Go see the G1 finals, the final 2 matches. That's when you know it's a good pay-per-view, when you start plugging something overseas. Like, this restaurant's so bad, you should check out this restaurant overseas. Oh, fucking WWE. Brock Lesnar's my pick. Rob, you're in the hot tag, like it or not.
My pick's Brock Lesnar. I don't think they'll have Cena wins again, but that from everything I've come to learn, that is actually their favorite card. But I don't think they're going to play it this time. I think they're going to do what they think is a clever swerve and be like, aha, Lesnar wins because Cena doesn't always win. But I think Lesnar's going to beat him. I mean, you can't have Lesnar come off breaking the streak and then have him job out to Cena. Not only that, but knowing the behind-the-scenes drama with Lesnar, I don't think Lesnar would job to Cena. I think Lesnar would rather go out there saying he's going to job to Cena and then really hurt Cena, like actually fight Cena and pin him and be like, I win, I'm the champion, and get fired and everything before he would job to Cena again. So I'm having to go with Brock Lesnar.
Gonna go with Brock Lesnar. When I was thinking about this match here, I kept thinking, okay, well, you bring on Brock Lesnar, you're paying him all this money, and I agree that, he's riding the momentum. I mean, yeah, he got that. It really wasn't a match against Big Show at the Rumble because Big Show was hurt, and then he got the career-defining match, something that'll go down in the annals of pro wrestling history. And hey, Leo Kocosports, ladies and gentlemen, give him a big hand. Got that win over The Undertaker. For those of you who can't see, Dave Kocosports' youngest son just walked in the room, so we're saying hi to him. He got that win over there, and now he's going to wrestle for the WWE Championship. Well, there was something that we need to bear in mind. September is coming up, and Dave Kocosports said this months ago that September is going to be a very, very important month for WWE because the people who originally bought the WWE Network when it launched, of course, they had to get a 6-month commitment. That 6-month commitment will run out after September, so they need people to want to keep the WWE Network and buy it, subscribe to it, and I think. Making Brock Lesnar your champion is going to get a lot of big headlines, or at least in their world it does. And then 2, saying, okay, now Lesnar's going to be back in September to defend this title against John. I'm thinking maybe it's going to be a rematch versus John Cena. Makes a lot of sense. It could generate a lot of more network buys because now it's just now launched over in Europe and by I think of what they said 117 different countries. So they're going to want them to subscribe. And since Brock Lesnar is just a huge name outside of pro wrestling, also with MMA fans and people who even casually follow MMA know who he is. I think it just makes a lot of sense to have Lesnar get the win. The whole Lesnar's the champion. Lesnar's now going to go out and defend it on the next pay-per-view and try to get more likes, subscribes, and buys for $9.99 with the WWE Network. So my pick is going to be Brock Lesnar, or if you spell it on spell check, Bork Laser.
Fucking Tommy Toehold always calls him cock lesbian.
That's fucked up.
Your pick is cock lesbian. All right, let's fucking rock it. You want live comments, tiebreakers? I got about 10 more minutes, gentlemen, and then I got to go make pizza.
All right, let's go ahead and do tiebreakers real quick. I've only been really able to think of one here, and you guys can jump in. My tiebreaker question will be, even though Luke Harper and Eric Rowan are barred from ringside in the Chris Jericho versus Bray Wyatt match, do you believe the Wyatt family will interfere?
Yes. I think it makes the most sense as like a pre-match attack on him where they just beat the shit out of him, but I definitely think that is the best way to make it seem feasible that Bray Wyatt beats him, considering Bray Wyatt got pretty soundly beaten last time.
All right, what say you, Mr. Kokotis?
I'm going to say no, just because they have to rebuild them, and look, I beat you with nobody as a way to try to rebuild Bray Wyatt. But if it is a yes, one thing that's going around, I don't even consider it an internet report, just like speculations, I guess, just people talking. What if there's a new Wyatt member? I don't think they're over enough to add a fourth guy, but that could be a possibility too, just a brand new member of the Wyatt family, someone from NXT. But I'm going to say no. I say he beats him cleanly just because they're trying to rebuild Bray Wyatt. And Bray Wyatt winning. So, there you go.
I just realized something. You brought up the rumor of them getting a new member. I don't know how many people know this yet, but Dean Ambrose actually got told to stop doing the running cannonball into the corner, apparently, according to Dave Meltzer, because they want that to be Steen's signature move. What if they had Steen come out as a Wyatt member?
It's way too soon. Way too soon.
Dude, that would be so good.
Dude, he hasn't officially. I mean, yeah, he's there, but he hasn't officially started with the company yet.
I would shit my pants, rub the shit in my face, and fucking run around my house like the Ultimate Warrior.
All right.
Probably not going to happen.
Remember
you'll
that.
Still shit your pants and run around the room, but it just won't have anything to do with the wrestling match.
So yeah, it would be really cool, but I don't know about that. My money's not on that, and I'm here to win the crown. I want to be pay-per-view profit. All right, second question. Do you want to go with an easy one? Will they add any matches?
Well, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. We've got 8 matches right now.
Will Rusev get injured?
Now, we got to have something that's competitive here. I mean, come on. I mean, we could tease maybe cashing in Money in the Bank. I mean, just help me come up with something, guys. I know I should have thought about this shit.
I think we should do the Money in the Bank, because I think as long as he has the Money in the Bank, we should always have that as a tiebreaker, because it's always got a huge potential threat to any main event match.
All right. Well, I'm gonna just go out on a limb and say no on that one.
I'm gonna say no because I feel like Brock Lesnar would beat the shit out of him after he's had a match with Dean Ambrose. Like, I don't think he's going to be in a condition to go and be like, I want to fight Brock Lesnar.
What about you, Dave?
Sorry, we have a guest. He wanted to see us. He's like, I'm waiting for pizza. Now
Looks
here's
like we just got a new best-looking man, because the other one walked in, too. Soccer champion.
all right, go.
Well, he would be better, but all the girls keep kissing him, so, you know, if they would stop doing that, he would have more time to practice. Be better.
You know, you be quiet if you're gonna stay. All right. I'm sorry about this. I promised them pizza, and they've started rioting. So
If we don't get pizza, we riot. If Cena wins, we riot. If the kids don't get pizza, they riot.
all right. So let's do tiebreakers. What's the tiebreaker I missed while wrestling them out?
Money in the Bank, is Rollins going to cash in?
Ooh, I'd love that. That would make it so much better. Because think about it. I think it could happen. I think if Brock Lesnar loses but beats the living shit out of John Cena, or Brock Lesnar gets disqualified and beats the living hell out of John Cena, and then he cashes it in because Brock is just a mercenary. It would make sense with the Brock Lesnar storyline. And not only that, but if Dean Ambrose wins earlier in the night, it's kind of like, oh, he definitely won't cash in. So, with all that said, no one cashes in. But if it does, it does make a lot more sense.
All right, okay, I got another one here. Does Nikki Bella turn heel at this pay-per-view? We keep hearing about the heel turn. Does Nikki Bella turn? Does she actually make the heel turn at this pay-per-view?
No, I don't even think we'll see Nikki Bella. We have a better chance, I think, of seeing Daniel Bryan than Nikki Bella. Daniel Bryan.
How about we change it to this? Do either Nikki Bella or Daniel Bryan get involved in the match? How about that?
I say yes.
Yeah, I'll say yes. They'll definitely get involved, and I think Triple H will be there down there too. I think it's going to be a clusterfuck. There's no way Stephanie. I mean, when she was young in her prime, it didn't make sense. But now she's fucking old. Did I mention she's old?
Still got a great rack.
Yeah, she does.
But
right, I'm going to have to kick some kids out.
there is another rumor that's actually happened. People have actually said that they think Triple H is going to be the special guest referee at the match.
Again, that would totally make sense. Wow, and I've just brought everybody to a hushing silence. So, is that gonna do for all the tiebreakers? We're gonna go with those three, or do you want to have one more just to play it safe?
I think three's good. Three, at least there's an odd number of tiebreakers.
Will CM Punk be there?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
All right, that will be the fourth one. That will be the fourth one from now until forever. It's
According to an internet rumor, according to an internet rumor, which we are just now starting based off no evidence here at Kocosports.com, CM Punk could remake his return.
Well, I didn't say return. He could just be in the audience, like, cheering on his wife.
There you go.
How great would it
guys,
be, though, to see CM Punk start a CM Punk chant?
Come on, guys. We got to wrap this up. Dave's got pizza to make, by God.
I say CM Punk will not show up. That's my answer for the tiebreaker.
I think he will, and he'll start a CM Punk chant during his wife's match.
All right.
I'm going to say no, but all right, guys, we're going to have to wrap this up.
All
He's
right.
got to make pizza. I got to get in bed, because some of us have jobs. And that's going to wrap it up. So, guys, put down here in the comment section, what do you think is going to happen? Be sure to include the tiebreakers and get it in. Get it in ASAP. You have until the pay-per-view starts to get those tiebreakers, to get your picks and tiebreakers in. So be sure to get them in as soon as possible. And in the meantime, you can always check us out at Kocosports.com. That's KOCOsports.com. It's your home for all combat sports. That includes boxing, mixed martial arts, pro wrestling, amateur wrestling, sumo wrestling, kickboxing, judo, taekwondo. If you can get your nose broke doing it, We got it covered there. Be sure to check out New Japan's G1 Climax there on Kocosports.com. We've also got some, in case you missed Monday Night Raw or SmackDown, NXT, TNA. Be sure to check out Video on Demand. Be sure to check out the Coco blog. We got plenty of stuff going on there. It's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at Kocosports.com. It's where the world goes to kick ass.
Rob, say your last piece.
www.davidandtigermask.com, where you can see David Kokotos wear a tiger mask and a luchador outfit and perform any requested task for the right fee.
None of that exists. Also, there will be, on this channel, there will be an Impact, NXT, and SmackDown review within 24 to 48 hours. And if me and Rob have time, there will be a weekend review. All right, thank you, gentlemen. Please go to Kocosports.net. And with that, I am over.